Two people, same year. Both of them are running a wealth year, the exact same god, the exact same timing. One of them moves cities, changes jobs, and ends a 7-year relationship inside 4 months. The other one has a perfectly fine year and can't remember a single thing about it. Same year, same god. Why? Because last episode I gave you what the year is. I never told you whether it actually touches you. That's a completely separate mechanism. It sits in a completely different layer of the chart, and it is the reason two people can be handed identical years and live opposite lives. Today you get the missing piece, clash and combination, in how a year makes contact. First time here, I'm Jimmy. I read pulses for a living and charts for the fun of it. Same 5 elements, 2 different maps. 20 years of Chinese medicine on my other channel. Same engine on this one, pointed at destiny instead of the body. Yin, yang, and the 5 elements. Let's go. Here's the idea that makes everything else obvious. Your chart has 2 floors. The top row is the heavenly stems, the visible layer. What you show, what you say, who people meet. The bottom row is the earthly branches, the 12 animals. That's the structural layer. Your body, your home, your work, your marriage. The ground you actually stand on. And here's the rule almost nobody says out loud. Stems talk, branches collide. The 10 gods you learned last episode mostly live upstairs, in the stems. They tell you the theme of a period, a wealth year, a resource year, an authority year. But whether that theme arrives like a whisper or like a wrecking ball gets decided downstairs, in the branches, because branches don't politely coexist. They have relationships with each other, and 2 of those relationships are strong enough to rearrange a life. One pushes, one pulls. Clash and combination. Small ask before we go deeper. This one lands flat unless it's your own chart on the screen. Everything I'm about to describe happens to 4 specific animals. Yours, not a generic rat, not a generic dragon. The 4 sitting in your 4 pillars right now. Without them in front of you, this is trivia. With them, it's a diagnosis. EasternReading.com. Free, 30 seconds. What you want is the bottom row, the 4 branches. Pause me, it's allowed. Good, you're looking at it. Then this next part is about you specifically. Start with the loud one, the clash. Put the 12 animals in a circle, in order. Now draw a straight line through the middle. Whatever sits directly opposite you is your clash. Rat opposite horse, ox opposite goat, tiger opposite monkey, rabbit opposite rooster, dragon opposite dog, snake opposite pig. 6 lines, 6 pairs, that's the entire list. You don't have to memorize it, you only have to find yours. Opposite means opposite season, opposite direction, opposite element. So when a year brings in the animal that sits across from one of yours, those 2 cannot occupy the same space. Something has to move. And this is where I need you to unlearn something. A clash is not bad luck. A clash is movement. Clash years are when people relocate, change employers, renovate, leave, travel constantly, finally get the surgery they'd been postponing, end the thing that was already ending anyway. The energy isn't misfortune. The energy is this cannot stay still. If you were stuck, a clash is the best news in your chart. If you were comfortable, it's expensive. And notice what it does to the people who fight it. A clash resisted becomes an accident. A clash cooperated with becomes a move. Same force, and you get a surprising amount of say in which one you get. Now what gets moved depends on which pillar takes the hit. This is the part that makes it precise. Year branch, the outer world, elders, family of origin, your public standing, where you came from. A clash here often shows up as something changing back home while you're somewhere else. Month branch were career and home base. This is the heavyweight of the 4. Month branch clashes are the ones that read as I moved and changed jobs in the same year, and they are the reason people remember a specific year for the rest of their lives. Day branch, your closest relationship and your own body. Marriage, partner, health. This is the one people feel first because you can't get any distance from it. Our branch, children, later life, and the private ambition you don't announce to anyone. Quiet from the outside, very loud from the inside. Same clash. 4 completely different stories depending on where it lands. Get the position wrong and you'll brace for the wrong thing all year. Now the quiet one, the combination. Certain branches don't fight, they bond. Rat with ox, tiger with pig, rabbit with dog, dragon with rooster, snake with monkey, horse with goat. 6 pairs again, and this time the 2 of them lock together and start behaving like one thing. There are also 3-way combinations, 3 animals that form a triangle and generate a single element outright. Monkey, rat and dragon make water. Pig, rabbit and goat make wood. Tiger, horse and dog make fire. Snake, rooster and ox make metal. When a year completes one of those triangles inside your chart, an entire element floods the room, and that year has a colour you can feel. And now unlearn the second thing. A combination is not good luck. A combination is binding. Combination years are sticky. Commitments, contracts, partnerships, marriages, merging your situation with somebody else's. Things get agreed to and then become difficult to reverse. That is wonderful when you're binding yourself to the right thing. It's a trap when you're binding yourself to the wrong one, because a combination is far harder to walk out of than a clash is to survive. There's a clean symmetry there. A clash breaks open something that was closed. A combination closes something that was open. Neither one is a verdict. They're just the 2 directions a life can move. And they interfere with each other, which is where the real reading starts. A combination arriving on a branch that was about to clash can hold it in place. That's the dramatic year that somehow never quite happens. A clash arriving on a locked pair can crack it open. That's the arrangement everybody assumed was permanent. Suddenly not. If you've ever wondered why a confident prediction didn't fire, this is usually where the answer was hiding. 3 moves. Do them on your own chart while I talk. 1. Write down your 4 branches, just the animals in order: year, month, day, hour. 2. Take this year and hold it against them. 2026 is the fire horse. So, does anyone in your chart carry the rat? That's the clash. Horse sits directly across from rat, and this is a year of forced movement for you, in whichever pillar that rat is sitting. Does anyone carry the goat? That's the combination. Horse and goat lock together, and this year pulls you into commitments and entanglements. Tiger or dog in the chart. The horse completes the fire triangle, and your year runs hot, visible, fast, and very hard to slow down. 3. Read the position before you read the drama. A rat in your day branch is a year that goes through your closest relationship and your body. A rat in your month branch is a year that goes through your work and your address. It's the same clash, and if you skip step 3, you will spend 12 months worrying about entirely the wrong thing. Then put last episode back on top of this one. The branches tell you where and how hard. The 10 gods tell you what. A wealth year that clashes your month branch is money arriving through upheaval. New job, new city, new terms. A wealth year that touches nothing is a wealth year you'll have to start by yourself, because nothing is coming to knock on the door. That's the difference between the 2 people I open with. It was never the year, it was contact. Before you take any of this too literally, 3 honest things. 1. A clash inside your natal chart is not the same as a clash arriving from a year. 2 of your own branches sitting opposite each other is a permanent tension you've carried your whole life, usually as restlessness or as a split between two areas that never quite reconcile. A clash arriving from outside is an event with a start date and an end date. Don't read a lifelong pattern as this year's crisis. 2. Not every clash fires. Strength, season, and whatever else is sitting in the chart all decide whether a collision actually detonates or just rattles the windows. This is genuinely where beginners overpredict. They spot the pair, they announce catastrophe, and then nothing happens. The pair is a possibility. It is not a promise. 3. I left 2 out on purpose. Classical BaZi has 4 branch relationships, not 2. There's also punishment and harm, the slow ones. Punishment is friction you generate yourself. Drawn out, internal, the legal and health category. Harm is quiet erosion, small betrayals, things going wrong in ways nobody can quite point at. They're real, they're subtler, and they deserve their own episode instead of 90 rushed seconds here. Charts below if you're still stalling. Free, fast, no sign up. Pull it, look at the bottom row and find out whether 2026 is a year that's moving you or a year that's binding you. Those two want completely different things from you. Next episode, we stop taking the chart apart and put one back together. One real chart, start to finish, Daymaster, missing element, luck pillar, annual pillar, 10 gods, clash and combination. Every layer from the last 7 episodes on one person in one sitting. If you've been collecting pieces, that's the episode where they become a reading. Do me a favour on the way out, down in the comments, give me your day brunch and what 2026 has actually been. Format it like this: rat, clash, move twice, or goat, combination, got engaged, or neither, quietest year of my life. That last one counts too, and it's the one that proves the system when the timing is genuinely empty. That's the episode. Go count something. See you next time.